everyone, it's Amber Spotted Elk at the Paper Owl. Thank you so much for joining today. We have 3 fun fall projects ahead of us, and I don't know about you guys, but I am so ready for some cooler weather and all things fall. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hey guys, so we are starting out with these candlestick holders from the Dollar Tree. I do have one that I picked up at a thrift store for $1 or less than $2. And we're basically going to be stacking these on top of each other. I wipe them down because we're going to be using glue to put these together, and I don't want any dust or debris not allowing a good contact with the glue. So I highly recommend wiping down your holders to make sure that you're getting as good of a bond as you can. And you can see now I'm just kind of stacking to see how I want them. I'm using hot glue, E6000, and the way that I do the E6000 and the hot glue is I put a line of E6000 and then I skip some space and then I do another line of E6000 and then I go back with the hot glue and put it in those spaces that I skipped. I don't like to put the hot glue directly on the E6000. From my experience, you're not going to get a very good hold that way. So I recommend doing it this way. It's just what's worked for me. And then I place this on. I try and make sure I can get it as straight as possible and just hold it there. Make sure that the hot glue has some time to adhere. And the E6000 will take about 24 hours a day to set. Overnight is probably fine. And so I just continue doing that. Now, I had originally started with just the 3 round, smaller candlestick holders from the Dollar Tree, and I was just going to glue 2 together and then leave 1 by itself, but I found these other 2 pieces and I really think it elevated the candlestick holders, pun intended. It did make them larger, and it just I really feel like it added that little bit of extra to make them some nice larger candlestick holders that don't look like you just spent a couple dollars. So I'm playing around with the design there for a moment, but I do decide to just glue top to bottom like I had originally planned. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and you can see that if you wanted to do this with just the 3 candlestick holders and glue 2 of them together, that would be absolutely fine, and you'd still get some great candlestick holders for only $3. I mean, for candlestick holders of this size that we're doing here today, on the low end, you'd be spending around $20 to $30. So this is a great deal, and it's so easy. You don't need to have a crafting bone in your body. You're literally just stacking and gluing them together. Now this part, I took some plaster and put it on the seams just to make it look a little bit more seamless. And I'm just smoothing it out with my finger there. This is completely optional. I got this at Walmart, I believe, for just over $1. There is the light spackling that you can get from the Dollar Tree as well that comes in like a little tub. So that's always an option if you do want to do this. Another thing you can do that I used to do years ago was take the hot glue and run it along the edge and then get a finger covering and wipe the excess hot glue away, and that'll also do the same thing. So that's another option if you don't want to go out and get something extra or don't have this on hand. I had this on hand already, so I figured I would go ahead and use it. So again, I'm just smoothing all of that out. I'm going to dry it as well to help move the process on a little bit. But you can see these are super easy, super fun, just super simple. They come out super nice. I don't know how many times I can say super about these, but I absolutely love them. They turned out great. I actually don't have any big candlesticks in my house right now, so I'm super excited about these. So So I'm just finishing drying them here. I do take some sandpaper once they are dry to kind of smooth out any spots that are raised, are kind of sticking up a little bit. So that is something that I recommend if you do use the spackling. So just keep that in mind as well. And I mean, if you skip this step with putting anything on the seams, you can see it's going to make it that much easier. Since I did do the spackling and I did add that extra base from the thrift store, I am going to be painting these as well. So I use Waverly's chalk paint in the color ink. I do put 2 coats on just to make sure that I have good coverage. This is a nice matte black, and that's really the color that I was going for. If you use all black pieces in your candlestick holders, then you could absolutely skip this step. Or obviously you can paint them any color that you want. I just like the way the black looks, and it goes with the things in my house. So as with any projects, do what makes you happy, what colors go with your home and your home decor. That's what the purpose is here. I just am here to inspire you and show you what I'm doing. But please, if white looks better or gray looks better or leopard print looks better, please do that. So I'm just finishing up here. Like I said, I do 2 coats, and I am just absolutely loving these. They're coming out so well. And like I said, these are larger pieces. So to be able to do this for, $5, just over $5, is absolutely amazing to me, when you would pay easily 4, 5, 6 times that amount if you were to buy these in store. So I mean, if you've got a few dollars and you're just wanting to try to make something, this is a great project for that. And you can see that really you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And if you end up not liking it, then hey, you only wasted a few dollars. So that's my that's my outlook on some of this stuff. So that's why I love getting some of these things at the Dollar Tree or at the thrift store, because if you mess something up or something breaks, it doesn't feel like it's the end of the world. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a son at home, and if something breaks, I don't want to feel like it's the end of the world, and I don't want him to feel bad about it either. Once I have kids that are older, maybe it won't matter, but here they are finished and candles on them, and I think they turned out absolutely great. Like I said, I absolutely love the size of these, and they really elevate any mantle or vignette that you're going to be doing. So next up, we're going to be doing these napkin ring holders. I'm just showing you these napkins that I got. They're Pioneer Woman from Walmart. I think I got them on sale for like $2, so great deal. I'm taking these shower ring holders to make the napkin rings, and I'm going to be wrapping them in twine. So what I do to make it a little bit easier is I cut off a piece of twine and then wrap it around and then cut off another piece. That makes it a little bit easier than trying to do it off of the ball of twine. Another way to do it is to open the shower ring, and then you can keep it on the ball of twine and run it through that opening. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's another way to do it that will save some time, rather than trying to maneuver around keeping it on the ball. So I'm really just gluing the very beginning and then going through the whole thing and then gluing the end. That seems to be working just fine for me. If you want to add extra glue in there, then absolutely do that, but this seems to be working just fine for me. And so I'm going to go through and do that with all 4 pieces. And this is a little bit more tedious, but it really doesn't take that long. And especially for the outcome, it's definitely worth it. So they turned out great. I was super happy with them. The other thing you're going to need for these, I used the burlap leaves from the Dollar Tree, and then also some regular leaves and some acorns. So honestly, if you just wanted to do twine napkin rings, these are great, and they'd be versatile for, year round if you wanted to. I think that simple look is enough sometimes and is a statement in its own. So if you wanted to just leave these as twine, I think that would look absolutely gorgeous. I myself tend to go a little bit extra with everything, so I add more and more pieces as the video goes on, and you'll see that. So I'm just finishing up this first one here, and then I'm not going to make you guys watch all 4 of these shower rings. We have a small family, and so 4 napkin rings is enough for us and 1 extra. So there are 12 that come in the package. If you need to use all 12, do all 12. I showed you that I used a lighter to burn that twine to get all the little extra hairs off there. I highly recommend doing this. It gives it a much cleaner look, and really makes it look more high end and like you got it at a store. So I highly recommend doing that. If you're afraid of burning that twine, keep a glass of water next to your station, and that can give you a little bit of peace of mind. I do clean up the edges on those burlap leaves just a little bit to make sure they don't look like they're falling apart too much. And then I'm just gluing them down in the middle. And again, the simplicity with just the 1 leaf on there, I like that. And I think that would look great just by itself too. So that's always an option. I use these berries. You can get these at the Dollar Tree, but I haven't been able to find them at any of my stores, which I was really sad about. But I ended up getting 12 feet for $1.50 at Hobby Lobby. So still a really good deal. I ended up getting, I think the ones at Dollar Tree are 9 feet long. I might be wrong. Comment below if you know. But I think I got 12 feet here for $1.50. So you can see I'm just wrapping them around the pencil to give it that spiraled look. And then I do wrap it once around the shower ring, and then I glue it down where I wrapped it just to make sure that it's nice and secure. But this definitely gives it some more texture, some more height. I really like what this did to the napkin ring holders. So I do that for the other 4 pieces. And then what I'm also going to be doing is, like I said, adding that extra leaf and the acorn on there as well. So, and I did get that all off of 1 floral pick from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, there was a name that was on there, but it's just one of the fall picks that they have. So I would keep your eyes out for that, and enough acorns come on 1 pick. So realistically, I think, you're maybe spending $3 or $4 to make these napkin rings. And like I said, if you need to make 4 or 6 or 8 or 12, like, you're still spending the same amount pretty much. So keep that in mind as well. So you can see I took that fall pick here, and I just took those acorns and the leaves off. I'm just gluing 1 extra leaf on top of that burlap, making sure you can kind of see both leaves so they offset each other just a little bit. And then just gluing that acorn right in the middle. And I absolutely love the way these turned out. It's going to be so cute for fall, super cute for a Thanksgiving setting, just adorable. I mean, and it's really going to elevate any table setting that you're wanting to have. So you can see the napkins here. I'm trying to figure out how to fold them nicely. I finally got it. So you can see here I got the napkin rings on, and they just look super cute. It really, really just elevates a dining room when you have these on there, and just makes you look super fancy, and it's better than using napkins or paper towels. So next up, we have this wreath. I'm using the 18-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and then also this welcome sign. So first up, I'm going to show you, so I got this orange fabric, and I got this actually from Crafter Square. You're just going to need a square of that orange fabric. And then I've got this burlap that I'm going to be wrapping around the wreath to give it more of a base. So, and that's what I'm doing here. And this is just nice because it gives a little bit more of a base to have the florals attached to. You could absolutely just attach it to the wreath form. But one thing that I do like about this as well is that if there are any barren spaces or, bald spots, as I like to say, peeking through, then it's going to be the nice burlap on the wreath form that they're going to see rather than just a bald spot. So I'm just gluing this all around here, and I really like the way that it makes the wreath look. So if you wanted to do this with ribbon, or there's a burlap ribbon that Dollar Tree sells, or a different cloth or anything like that, then whatever you have around would absolutely work. This is just what I had, and you could see I was using like scraps of stuff. So whatever you have around would absolutely work. If you don't have anything, you can just use the wreath form as is. That's completely fine. So I'm finishing that up here, and I did change the welcome sign a little bit, and I don't know what happened to that footage, so I apologize for that. I will explain some of that as well in between here, just so you guys know what I did. But here I'm showing you the florals. I got all of these picks at the Dollar Tree, so I'm using the red Gerber daisies and the yellow Gerber daisies, I believe is what I picked out. So I'm keeping the red together and then the yellow together. If you want to mix them up or do every other one or have all different colors, then you do you, boo. Like, do whatever is going to make you happy. So I did end up clipping just a little bit off of the base of that flower to make it a little more flush so that it stuck on the wreath a little bit better. That is something that I do recommend, just because it's hard when it has that little piece sticking out. So I do kind of squinch these together as much as possible so that the leaves kind of, or the petals kind of poke up a little bit. I just feel like that adds a little bit of dimension. I put some of the greenery back in between the flowers, not all of it, but just a little bit here and there. Oh, sorry, I bumped you guys a little bit there. So just a few of the greenery pieces back in there, not all of them. Like I said, if you want to do all of them and you like the way that looks, then absolutely. And then I basically just grabbed a whole bunch of these picks that had the different color leaves on them, for fall leaf colors, and just pulled a whole bunch of those off, cut them down, and then just glued them all around the wreath so that they were just kind of alternating. I just wanted it to look like it was going to, like it just had, all the leaves had fallen outside and landed on the wreath randomly. I also found these pomegranate picks at the Dollar Tree. These are super cute. I added those in on either side of the flowers that I had, and I feel like this just added a little bit extra, a little more texture. It has a pine cone on there and some berries, and I really think that helped out a lot. With the scarecrow welcome sign, I did add some raffia braids on either side, so that the scarecrow had some more hair and it didn't look as scraggly. I added a little more raffia to her hands, and then I did change the hat to that orange hat, just because the fabric made it look a little bit nicer than kind of that more thin, cheaper looking fabric that was already on there. And so that's completely optional. You could leave the welcome sign as is. I just wanted to elevate it a little bit, and I had that stuff on hand already. I actually used the raffia from the luau skirt from the Dollar Tree. So you can see here those braids I added on the hat. It just made her look just a little bit more extra, and I think it turned out great. I absolutely love it, and I'm so excited to have fall colors around. So here are our final photos of the candlestick, and I just love how big these turned out and how nice they look, and our napkin ring holders. And again, I just love the way that these turned out. They look, more high end, and definitely not like you got everything from the dollar store. And again, you can make as many or as little as you want to. Um, the sky is the limit. And again, our wreath turned out so beautiful. Please let me know which one was your guys' favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tuning in, and happy crafting. Thanks, guys.